Let's wrap it up with Monday Night Football. Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. 2-2 Packers, 1-3 Raiders. And Packers are favored by 2.5 on the road in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Garoppolo has been in concussion protocol. He should be back for this one, I believe. Get to see a little bit more Jordan Love and the Packers. They're good. They've been good in pass pro until they ran into the Lions last Thursday night.
Max Crosby up against Zach Tom will be a pretty interesting one. Zach Tom's been a pretty good right tackle and then got wrecked by Aiden Hutchinson, in addition to everybody else getting wrecked. But Tom had struggles there. Now he's going up against Max Crosby, who, is right there with the best pass rushers in the NFL. I think there's a little gap between, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, those guys, and Max Crosby, but it's a very small one. He's as good as pretty much anybody, and he leads the league in total pressures, along with a couple of those other guys.
I will say the Raiders' defense has been far more impressive than they looked on paper coming into the year. I mean, if you just looked at PFF grades or just general perception of players, it was like, who do they have with Max Crosby unless they have Nate Hobbs return back to form? There was a lot of guys who needed to return back to form. Mm-hmm. Nate Hobbs, Trayvon Merrick, some sort of pass rusher to produce opposite Crosby. We've seen a little bit of life from Malcolm Kuntz. But they've played pretty well. I mean, underrated last week. The Chargers, they had a 50-yarder at the end to Josh Palmer, but they were not moving the ball through the air with Herbert. A couple big plays were given up against the Steelers, but otherwise, Raiders did a nice job there. They did a nice job against Denver in Week 1. So a little better defensively. Josh McDaniels keeps claiming that the team is close.
Sorry.
I wasn't trying to be funny, but I am saying I kind of feel like they are. Like, I kind of like they have the pieces offensively to play much better. Garoppolo's solid. Devontae Adams, when healthy, they'll be all right.
That reminds me of? Eddie Jones is the coach of the Australian rugby team right now, who are about to be sent home in ignominious failure from the World Cup, having lost to Tonga for the first time maybe ever, or certainly since like the 1950s. It's been a total train wreck, right? And after the Tonga game, he was like, we dominated them. This should have been a win. And then they'd been winless since he took over going into the World Cup. And everyone was like, it feels a little worrying. He's like, nah, we're going to win it. Not only are we going to be fine, we're going to win the World Cup. We're right on the edge. We're right there. It's perfect. Building perfectly. This is exactly the way the plan has been going. I'm getting very much Eddie Jones vibes out of the Josh McDaniels thing, which is like, nah, no matter how many L's you put in the column, this is exactly the way it was supposed to go. We're right on the edge, guys. And in 2-3 weeks, we're going to have turned that corner, and now you're going to be sorry. You're going to be looking like fools because you wrote us off when we were right here with one more win in the first 21 games than Tom Cable had.
Well, I'm buying it.
You're buying
I'm buying into it. One thing, Chandler Jones has been released. He had there was some sort of, he was tweeting through some stuff, got arrested. So I didn't want to make any accusations the other day, but on the same day that Tupac's alleged killer got arrested in Vegas, Chandler Jones was also arrested in Vegas. And I was thinking the NFL scriptwriters did it again. I mean, that would have been
a hell of a twist.
Quite the twist.
Yeah.
Was Chandler Jones even alive?
I doubt it.
No, he's probably like 5 at that point. What was that, 96? Chandler Jones was drafted in 12. So, yeah, he was probably 4 at the time.
He was 6.
There you go. So that would be a twist.
It would be a twist.
That would be a twist.
Yeah, I don't believe he's connected to that, legally speaking.
Am I going to get in trouble again? Am I getting sued again?
Probably.
Anyway, Tyree Wilson watch. I mentioned he did have his first win as a pass rusher the other day. From a Packers perspective, what did we learn in that game against Detroit? Is Detroit just a much better team? Because the Packers they had a good first 3 weeks, right? They looked good over the first 3 weeks. Tough late loss to the Falcons. Nice comeback win against the Saints. Jordan Love had his ups and downs, but it looked like a nice young passing attack was going to be tough to stop every single week, and kind of laid an egg against Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, that was a concerning game, I think, for Green Bay because it turned a strength into a weakness. That offensive line, they'd given up nothing. Like Jordan Love whatever you say about Love and the receivers and everything there, like they had a brilliant platform to work from every week because they had one of the best pass blocking units in the league, and it hadn't been doing the same job on the ground, but that's the lesser important part. And then against the Lions, they just got overwhelmed. They got overran. And if that exposed something that they'd actually been riding higher than they should have been this season, then maybe they have some worries. And look, this is all a personnel thing, right? Like when David Bakhtiari is there, he's still one of the best left tackles in the NFL, but the guy is dealing with a chronic knee injury, and now he looks like he's shut down for the year. It's not the same personnel that they started the season with. But if that has become a weakness, the Raiders have a guy like Max Crosby that can expose that and cause all sorts of problems. And wherever you are on the Jordan Love experience so far this season, I don't feel like it's one that will be improved by a dramatic downturn in pass protection.
Devontae Adams' revenge game. Is he healthy? We don't have an injury report.
I mean, he's not going to be healthy. That looked like a pretty significant
Adams
shoulder
gonna play?
bang. I would imagine he'll play, but I doubt he'll be healthy.
I was going to say for Walt, I was going to pick the Raiders. I was going to pick the Raiders for Walt, but he's preaching tank right now in the chat. He wants to tank.
He wants to tank already?
Yeah, he's already in tank mode. But I'm feeling the Raiders. Feeling the Raiders here.
You're buying into the Eddie Jones party line.
Yeah,
we've got them right where we want them.
They can't be that bad.
Yeah, I was trying to
play tough. They've played tough in 3 out of 4 games.
So through their first 21 games, Josh McDaniels has one more win than Tom Cable, Norv Turner, and Dennis Allen, I think, are the 3 that were 1 win behind him. I was just going through how many more games those 3 lasted to see, where are we here in this arc of Josh McDaniels. Norv got another year. Norv got 3 years there. Dennis Allen, I think, was done after that year, second season. I think Tom Cable might have been done after that second season as well. So he kind of needs to figure it out quickly, otherwise we might be ending this after this season.
I'm just running. Look, both teams, I've actually been more impressed by both teams than I expected, Packers and Raiders. So I think it'll be a pretty fun Monday night game. I'll take the Raiders to cover the 2.5. Getting 2.5.
Mark Davis taking crap from the fans in the stands.
Yeah, he reads the comments.
Well,
what happened in the stands?
He was just getting, the Raiders fans were wanting Josh McDaniels fired as they were walking past his suite, and he seemed to take offense to that. He was shouting back at them. I couldn't make out a single word from the entire video, but he seemed to be giving it back to them. I'm going Green Bay.
All right, that's Monday Night Football this week.